Okay. Good evening, everyone. Let's just give a minute to start. Okay, some questions. Good start. Number, number 7, 10, 11, and 20. Okay, I think we are good to start. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Sorry. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, those online. I think we are good to start. We are good to start. So, without wasting time, because we are not going to use much time, and those questions posted on the class page, I'm going to sort the problem here in today's class. Number 7, number 10, number 11, and number 20. I think so. If we have any other question we want to ask, we can write it on the Instagram chats blog or the YouTube, or you call direct, or you just call for any conversation, like conference call. You feel like anyway, you feel like just passing your question across, or you just have anything to advise or anything to encourage, or what idea you need to just inculcate in this class that will be beneficial to other students, and other students will be able to benefit from it. So that is the reason why I always call video like this, so that we can be able to rub minds and see way forward and see how we can motivate you to achieve your aim. So today I'm going to talk about the road sign. The road sign. The road sign. I taught it in a class this past week, and most students, you just have to go along with me with your book, starting from your unit 8, and from page 59. We're starting from page 59. So I'm going to explain, and I'm going to show us some of the sign and easy way to read, interpret the sign, because it is very, very important for you to understand sign before going to exam. And don't ignore sign. Every sign is very important, because you don't know the actual one that will come in exam. And some years back, when question on sign comes, is always direct, like, what does this sign indicate? What does this sign means? But now the question of sign is like making them to feel that you understand sign very well. So they ask the question in a way that if you cannot interpret sign very well, you'll be having problem, you'll be having issues. So what you need to understand is that you have to get sign clearly what it's all about and what is drawn inside it, the color, the shape. There are three things that is so important in sign: the color, the shape, and whatever that is drawn inside it. So you have to know that when we talk about sign. Now, let me talk about sign. What is the purpose of the sign? The purpose of the sign on the roadway is to direct, to guide you on the roadway. And how do they guide you? They guide you in a way that you are able to align on your own lane without causing problem. Even though if you're changing lane or you're carrying out overtaking, it's going to be in a way that it will be easier, and it will be helpful to all the other road users on the roadway. You know, road users are other people that use the road with you, whether pedestrian or two-wheel vehicle or whoever they may be. And I told you in exam in the book in teaching that sign gave birth to 5 children. We have 5 type of signs. So which means all signs are grouped into 5. We have the first one, which is according to priority. Because when you are reading sign, interpreting sign, you have to read them according to the priority in them. So the first one is the traffic agent. The second one is the circumstantial or warning light. The third one is the traffic light, which is always circular. The fourth one is the vertical sign because it's always on the pole. And the fifth one, which is the last one, is the road markings. So road markings can be in any form. But today I'm going to summarize the teaching because I've explained it better in our class. So I just want to give us some ideas, some instinct. And again, sometimes when you get to the roadway, you notice sign on the left and there's no sign on the right. When a sign is placed on the left side of you when driving, sign on the left side, it does not control you that is turning to the right. It only control whosoever is going to that left and whosoever is going straight forward. But when you get to a same junction, there's no sign on the left. You only have sign on the right. So what you need to do is that you must understand that when a sign is found on the right, it speaks to everybody, whether you're going to the right or you're going straight on or you're going to the left. So far, there's nothing on the left. The same, you get to a junction, there's a sign on the left and there's a sign on the right. So what you need to do is the person going to the right will obey the one on the right, and the person going straight ahead and the person who is going to the left will obey the sign on the left. So in exam, where do they bring the question up? They bring the question by saying, according to this diagram, they give a diagram whereby a sign is on the left and a sign is on the right. And they said, if you are going straight on or straight ahead, which of the side of the road sign will you obey? The left, because the right does not control you unless there's no sign on the left. So they can twist it in any way, but that is just the picture of the question in exam in that area. So we have sign, conflicting of signs. Sometimes we have conflicting of sign, which means contradicting. Some of these 5 signs, they contradict themselves. So when a sign contradicts themselves, they can be of the same type, they can be of different type. For example, barrier falls on number 2. Barrier can be a blockage. Now, barrier and a traffic light. Traffic light is number 3. So when barrier and traffic light contradict each other, which means you get to a place, an entrance of a road, and there's a barrier by construction people, and the traffic light is still showing green, walking. Which one will you obey? You have to obey the order of priority. Why? Because number 2 is the barrier. Number 3 is the traffic light. So I have to obey number 2 before number 3. So when signs of different kind contradict each other, I obey order of priority. For example, the first one is the traffic agent, which is the police. The police say, go. And the traffic light, number 3, says stop with red lights. You have to obey the police because it's the first hierarchy of sign, which means according to. So what am I trying to insinuate? What I'm trying to explain is that when sign of different kind contradict order, you obey the order of priority. But when sign of the same, when the same contradict each other, the same sign, for example, police, 2 police stops you and 1 asks you to go. So 2 police stops you and 1 asks you to go and the other one asks you to stop. That is the same sign contradict each other. I have to obey the most restrictive. Which one is the most restrictive? The restrictive is the one that asks you to stop. The one that asks you to go, no. You obey the most restrictive. Just like traffic lights. Number 3, one light on getting to a junction, one light shows green and the other one shows red, contradicting each other for you. What you need to do in that case is you have to obey the one that says red, which is most restrictive. So sign of the same kind, you obey the most restrictive. And most time, when we talk about the sign, the first one, which is the traffic agent, has two ways of expressing their intention. They can express through what you will see, and they can express through what they will hear. For example, what you will hear is their whistle. If you go to some busy place where traffic congestion happens, you see the police start using whistle. And they have a pattern of blowing their whistle, just like according to the football pitch also. So they can blow a long whistle, po, which means continue going, continue your course. But when they want to stop you, they blow a short and frequent, po, 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 just like the way we do it in football, po, po, just to stop the match. So po, 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 short and frequent means stop. Long whistling means continue your course, continue going. So police can extend their hands also, using their hands to signal an intention. They can use their hand vertical, raising up vertical. Vertical means they are controlling those approaching the police from the front, approaching. So whosoever is coming behind, no problem. But approaching, vertical stops you. But horizontal, whether one arm or two arms, horizontal, controlling the both direction, the front and the back. So police can use their arm. When they're using their arm, ordinary arm without anything is telling you to reduce speed. But when you use a back-on, whether with the lights, yellow or red, no matter what color it emits out, you have to stop to where they are doing the control. So police has flag on their vehicle, colors flag. They can have red, green, or yellow. When they have red, means the road is closed temporarily, not permanently closed, temporarily. They can close the street because they are controlling the streets. So they close the entrance of the street by putting a red flag on their vehicle. So it means that the road, many people go to the exam and they fail this question because the question put a red flag and say, what does it indicate? They said close, B, temporary close, C, open. So they went to pick close instead of temporary close. There's a difference between close and temporary close, because when you see ordinary close, means that it's closed permanently. So the flag of police is only talking about the temporary close. So when they remove the red flag and they put the green flag, means that the road is reopened to traffic. Green means road reopened to traffic. Hope someone is hearing me. Please, if you're hearing me, say, let me hear yes, or you just send me a sign. From Instagram, if you're hearing me, let me see whether if you're hearing me, because I'm just speaking, I didn't even call attention of people. Hello, if you're there, you're watching me, let me just see you, maybe thumb up or something, or like, or yes. Okay, Rajon, that's nice. Okay. So in that case, yeah, very good. So they what I'm trying to say is that the green flag becomes reopen to traffic. They reopen because after finishing the control, they will remove the red flag and put the green flag to tell people that yes, you can now pass this area. The yellow flag is just telling you that the road is neither open nor closed. So it means that you have to pass the road with extremely caution. You must be careful when you are passing the road. So which means it can be due to maybe the safety of that road is not so clear to them. So they just want people to pass that road with so much caution. So when the police extend his arm downward inclined when driving on maybe on top of a bike, or they bring out their arm from the car, they are telling you to park to the right. Parking on the left is against the law. You have to park on the right. That is everything you need to know about police officer. So the second hierarchy is circumstantial signs, which can be barrier. Barrier can be movable, can be a fixed. A movable one means the one you pay and it opens. The fixed one becomes the fixed one, which you have on the roadway, like what you have in the. Let me just try to show us some things. Something's in the book. Think I'm going to just do this. Come in. If you're